Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Barasham, Yahushai, Barasham Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing his 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel. And salutations to you, sincere Archimedes that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Alright, so what I'm going to go into today is, that lesson will be ask your pastor about E. E being Esau Edom, which we all know is the so-called white man that is ruling upon the earth today, as pertaining to all the precepts that talk about it. So I'm sitting in my house, and the pastor that usually preaches every day. Now I will say this, the guy, he studied up, he knows his precepts, but knowing and understanding are two different things. So he's talking about, and this is a common trend for pastors, here in Nigeria. He's pushing that replacement theology. How by basically, he goes into all the precepts that talk about the promises which the Most High will give to our people who are the Israelites. That is you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All our people that are descended from the house of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Israelites, according to the scriptures, is going into those precepts that talk about how the Most High will bless us, quoting it literally verbatim, literally reading, like, for example, now, let me go into one of the precepts I usually that they love to bring out here in the Nigerian Christian church. Right, the book of Obadiah chapter 1 verse 17, and it reads, "But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions." So it is very clear, like the other Malcolm has said, this is a personal, it's a precept about a certain group of people, a cosmos, going into the meaning of the true breakdown for that world, as spoken of in the New Testament. This is a certain group of people, an orderly arrangement of people, the Israelites, the people that dwell on the Mount Zion, who are the Israelites, meaning that no other people. This does not apply to heathen. This does not apply to any other people except the Israelites. But yet, what you have is Christian pastors using precepts like this, talking about our people only, and applying it to everybody, to all the nations and the heathen alike, breaking down the scripture wrong, butchering the meaning of it. Because it is very clear who this is talking about. It's talking about Zion, and it's talking about the house of Jacob. And if you're not of that house, okay, and if you go into the breakdown for the word, the house of a man, that means all the people that come from his house. That means all the descendants, the direct descendants, meaning that of your father's line. The father of your father has to go back to that line. Okay. So what you have is like these pastors, and you brothers will have to forgive me, but this infuriates me to no end. Okay. Because you have the whole book of Obadiah is dedicated to cursing out Esau. And the proof is right in the beginning. Just read to Obadiah 1, it tells you what? The vision of Obadiah. So okay, I'm getting the text. So okay, let me just bring it down. Okay. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh of power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent up among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So the Most High is planning on taking down these devils in battle, rising up against Esau in battle. But this is, and you read it right there. And I continue from verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. It literally introduces itself as the word of the Most High to Obadiah about Esau. And this nigger, he skipped all of that and jumped straight to, this is what the Lord said. Just jump straight to, this is what the Lord said in the book of Obadiah. You shall possess your possession. Any spiritual authority that is called the nonsense that the Christian pastors here in Nigeria talk about all the time. Any that invitation is even vexing me to do. Let me just say this much, that any evil spirit, any spiritual authority that has taken this and that, or done this and that to you, that taking your destiny, taking your possession, what they pray to the Most High, what is he waiting for? Let him bring it back, let them die by fire, all that nonsense. And this is the shit I have to listen to every day. Okay, so that is why I'm doing this video for you Christians that are watching, because you will claim that Christianity is the truth. And vocab, vocab, warning our people? Why aren't you warning people? Why aren't you warning your followers about the chip? Right? Why aren't you telling them to prepare for the unrest and violence and all the spoiling that will be coming to the world, and especially to Babylon? Because we know that anything that happens on this planet, the worst of it will happen to Babylon. A good example, right? The COVID. Anything that comes upon it, any plague, any disease, anything that comes up, the worst of it, Babylon will get the worst of it. Alright, why aren't you warning people that that this world is going to that this world is coming to an end very soon, and this is why this video is entitled Ask Your Pastor About E. Because these Christian pastors gloss over huge parts of the scriptures, completely ignoring Esau and the curses that the Most High put on him, or even any form of prophecy, and instead spoon feeding their congregation lies and lies. I know you people, especially you niggas in these churches, man, you eat that shit up. Alright, so Isaiah 47. I'll start from verse 12. And it reads, Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. These are for all you followers of this Christian madness, You see, which is basically nothing more but witchcrafts and enchantments. Stand by it now and prove its works. Show what it has done that has benefited you. Show what it has done. That proves that it is some semblance of truth, or that it has some knowledge in it. Okay? Continue from verse 13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. And it's something that comes to mind is that Pastor Kenneth Copeland, that that devil that basically was praying over COVID, trying to make it clear up, praying, this pastor that constantly pray over America and over the world, saying that let the Most High heal the world, let the Most High bring peace upon the world, and their prayers have failed once again. Right, our pastor was talking about how they prayed to the Most High that America would not be Babylon the Great, America will not be destroyed, when their prayers will fail. Because the Most High the scriptures are written that the Most High is preparing a sacrifice in Bozrah. Now he's talking about Babylon the Great, alright? So all these pastors, all these your pastors, your soothsayers, your astrologers, all these people, because that is all these pastors are. Basically, they are all Chaldeans, alright? They are all the spiritual leaders of this Babylonian society. And they're the ones that will get you to take the chip. They're the ones that will get you to take the vaccine. They're the ones that will dig that pit for you, and you will fall inside it and get taken by those angels and those missiles. And continue for verse 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. And that is right there. That fire is going to burn them. It's the fire from the chariots and the fire from those nuclear missiles. Because that is all that is coming to you false prophets out there. Alright, so let me get the book of Micah. Because let me just quickly go in on this madness, man. Because Micah verse chapter 3 verse 5. Okay, it is Micah 3 verse 5. Thus saith Yahweh concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry peace, and he hath putteth not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. Because this is what what the scripture says, to love. No, I'm sorry, let me go again. I'm sorry, let me look for it in the scriptures, so that you have to bear with me. Let me quickly look for it, because I've forgotten how it goes. But basically, to love, I think it's something along the line of to love the world is okay. The carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. Okay. Oh yeah, it is. This is what I'm looking for. The book of James chapter 4 verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. So all you people that think that you can, serve both the Most High and Mammon, and you think that you can be joined onto this world and still continue to serve Yahweh Bashmi or Shabbat, understand that you should hate, right, this kingdom, this current rulership of Esau. I want to say with a righteous hatred, but basically even I should not even love this place even a little bit. Alright, so let me continue. Let me that you are basically preparing war against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai because because by supporting Esau, by supporting this devil, because Esau is planning to because Esau is planning to set up a war in heaven, a war against the angels and the chariots when Yahushua is coming back. So by supporting this devil, you are indirectly waging a war against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and you will be destroyed. Because when the scripture says that these devils, that these armies, they stand no chance. Because first of all, when they see the wonders of the Most High, when they see him coming, when they see our Lord Yahushua coming in that chariot, they will be scared as hell. Right? They'll be terrified. Their hearts will, some of them will even die of heart attacks. Going into the scriptures that tell you that men's hearts fail in them for fear. And so, and the scripture in the book of Second Ezra, the second chapter, it tells that what they were scared, but still durst fight. Alright, so even with their fear, so they know they are going to lose, but they still fight because they know that they have no other hope. Right, but to at least take away, because when it comes, they'll see him as this demonic power, like the heathen did before, and they will fear him because of the terror that he's coming with. Because what scriptures, because what we talk about when we talk about Yahushua is coming, when he's not coming back to make peace, right? That is the book of Revelation 17, I believe, that in righteousness he doth judge and make war. So he's not making peace, he's making war, coming back to make war, coming back pissed off as hell. Right, to bring all the people that mocked him, that laughed at him, that put him on that cross to subjection, and to kill 2/3 of our people that refused to follow him. Okay, because to bring a proper judgment upon this kingdom. That's what our Lord is coming back for. Right, so let me continue from the book of verse 6. Therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets, and they shall be dark over them. And that's why all these pastors are seen out here now, that all these so-called all these so-called men of God that you are seeing out here, they are getting more and more quiet these days because they don't have anything else to prophesy about. They don't have anything else to lie about. All their deceits are being brought out consistently. They are being exposed consistently. So now, so now the Most High is exposing them through His servant the prophets. That by vibration has gone out, and people are running away from Christianity. People know that Christianity is, that Christianity is bullshit, it is nonsense. Even here in Nigeria, we have a lot of these devout Christians. We have a lot of these devout Christians that are ready to kill themselves and die for that Cesare Borgia. Even them are starting to doubt Christianity, are starting to doubt these pastors. So you see that the Most High is putting out His Spirit upon the whole earth, and people are starting to question, starting to ask questions, and they're starting to look at these false pastors out here that don't have the truth with the side eye. Okay, so continue from verse 17. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of the Most High. And before, the Most High was prophesying through them, deceit, to put a stumbling block on our people. But now the Most High isn't even sending them deceit anymore, just leaving them to do whatever wickedness that they want to do. Alright, that's the situation that they are in right now. And let me just quickly say this as well. And a lot of you followers, you don't think they are exempt from these judgments, especially you in the Israelite camps, because especially you in the Israelite camps, right? Because you can't deny that you know about GMS, and between your camp and GMS, who brings out more truth, goes deeper and harder for these truths. So you have chosen who you want to follow. And they're going to, and you've chosen wrong. Alright, so the book of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 9. That Isaiah chapter 30 verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So you know who will prophesy unto you the right things, prophesy unto you the 100% truth, unadulterated, unfiltered, for you to hear it and be saved. But you will still heap to those false prophets. You will still heap to those false pastors that will tell you lies, that will preach smooth things, the things you want to hear, the things that you want, the things that cannot save you, but you want to hear because of your wickedness. And that is who you choose to. And that is who majority of our people have chosen to flock to. We are going to you're going to get destroyed right along with these wacky tacky Christians. But anyway, back to the topic. Ask your pastor, your imam, your spiritual leader, your favorite scientist, whoever you want. Like the scripture that I brought out in Isaiah 47, verse 13. Let me go back to that and just quickly scroll through it. Isaiah 47, verse 13. So, yeah. Isaiah 47, verse 13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon you. Alright, so ask your sorcerers, your astrologers, your stargazers, your monthly prognosticators, your enchanters, all these people that you have held in high regard, they have chosen them over the prophets and over Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh. Ask them, right, about if he was done away with, how do you explain the existence of somebody like Antipater the Idumean? And if you don't know who that is, look that up. Why do the scriptures mention him so much? And why did most of the prophets go in on this devil and prophesy his destruction? Go to your pastor now, and for all you other check out it that don't even read the scriptures, why don't your holy books go into any prophecies? Why is it that nothing in your holy book has written of has come to pass? Why is it that it does not teach you anything? Why isn't it showing you anything that will happen in these times? Why isn't it giving you any enlightenment or any comfort to know and to know how to navigate through these spiritual times that we're living in? Alright, why does it not point you into anything? It does not point you to any form of and what I'm looking for. Why does it not point you to any form of understanding, towards the things that are going on upon the earth right now? And for you Christians out there, why don't you go to your pastors and show him books like Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, Romans 9 verse 13, though they both say the same thing. The whole book of Obadiah, Psalms 137, Isaiah 14. Read the whole thing yourself, and you will clearly see that it is speaking of a man. And ask him, why the Christian church never utters a single word about Esau, even as many times that the scriptures mentions him, when the scriptures goes into his wickedness, talks about all these things that he has done. Why doesn't the Christian church mention him? Why is it that the Christian church just somehow completely forgets that this devil even existed or even still exists up to this day? I'm just going to end it there. Let's give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash, Wa Abad, Babal. And through the Spirit, I hope brothers and sisters were edified. Shalom.